Yo, the equation was simple. Beat Pakistan and put yourself in a better position to advance for the semifinals. But no, them sending me back to maths class because me have to take out my calculator.
No, it don't make no sense to do that. It's only a miracle we need. You just need to put it now in the almighty hands.
Welcome, Sports Nation, to Sports DTM, the sports channel where we call sports down the middle. You can expect the latest in sports news, views, and reviews from our resident analysts. No sports topic is too controversial, and no team or player is above criticism. So just smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on our balanced offering of riveting sports content. And don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Welcome to Sports DTM.
Greetings, Sports DTM fans, and welcome to another episode of Sports Down the Middle, your channel of undiluted sports content. Raymond and I are here to discuss the upcoming match between West Indies and South Africa. This will be West Indies' last match of the league format, and we hope that it will not be their last match of this ICC World Cup, but they have certainly not made it easy for themselves and for us to watch, Raymond. Going up against South Africa is always a challenge for them, and in particular, their last set of matches against South Africa has not gone well. They have played. They went to South Africa recently in a series and they lost 2-1, with one match being a no result. And that match that they won narrowly in a super over. And this is the second time they're beating South Africa in a super over, and South Africa is still upset over it. And one of their player, Lee, said that super over should not decide ODI. That's how upset they are. So this match between West Indies and South Africa might or will be a grudge match, a match that West Indies definitely need to win, but a match that South Africa will not want to lose.
Well, Kirk, it's hard to say. I remember the last game I was saying that I was nervous because it's one of the games them that we expected to win and we never win. And now this one now is a must win. So I'm wondering if now that given that it's a must win game, they will probably rise to the occasion. And the fact that it's a grudge match, they might rise to the occasion again. The only trick is winning this game. It can't win it by a narrow margin, and that is the only trick. So if you ask me, I really have a strong opinion on this that West Indies might actually win this game, and that's the type of team West Indies is. If they don't win it, they're going to make a serious match out of it. That's for sure.
I was hoping that you wouldn't bring up that last match, Raymond, West Indies versus Pakistan. Um, we went to bed. The match started sometime after 1 a.m. Our time. There was heavy rain and the pitch looked like a swimming pool, and we thought that was it.
Yeah.
And for some strange reason, the sun came out, and West Indies decided not to come out. The match was reduced to 20 overs, and we thought, hey, since West Indies have power hitters and Pakistan has struggled, then this is going to be an easy match for the West Indies. And they made it out to be one of the worst match we watched. 89 for 7 off 20 overs, blocking all the way through. I mean, if you look at the scorecard for this match, that in 27 runs from 35 balls. Illy 1 from 7. Taylor 18 from 31. If you look at the strike rate, Raymond, going in for this particular match, it turns out that 20 over match. 89 was definitely not the score you want to defend. I mean, you tried it against Bangladesh and it worked. And you
Yeah,
come back
Kirk.
and expect that. We spoke about it, This you can't continue to play like this and expect to get positive result. And it showed against Pakistan. Pakistan has struggled. Can I vent? Pakistan has struggled. Go ahead.
Boy. It's we say it. You're right. We say it time and time again. You can't keep putting so much pressure on the bowlers. You come in, it's expected that you're someone you're the batter and you need to put up some serious runs. You had some serious strike rate in the early few games, and then now it comes down to this pretty much T20 kind of format for you in after the rain. So you expected that all you needed to do was pretty much try to put up some serious runs. But boy, the spinners put some, just pretty much put West Indies on the back foot, and it just never went well at all in any shape or the imagination didn't went well.
And then one other thing that stood out to me as well, Raymond, is that Ramnarak bowled 10 overs for 15 runs against Bangladesh. And the next match, should up on the bench. Like, oh, you know what? Let us go on to South Africa. I don't know why you brought up this match, but West Indies eventually lost to Pakistan by 7 wickets. And the match we want to talk about is this.
Yeah.
Head to head, South Africa is leading. They have played 28 matches. West Indies win 11, South Africa 14. And there have been 3 no results. But those 14 wins by South Africa has come in the latter part of the two teams facing each other. South Africa is riding on a high. They have won 4 of their 5 matches, and they're in second on the table. They lost narrowly to Australia in their last match. So whilst they have lost, I think they're going into this match as favourites with a lot of confidence, knowing that West Indies is on the back foot.
Yeah, Kurt. Of course they're going in with it as favorites. From a head-to-head perspective, from narrowly losing to Australia, who pretty much wiped the floor with West Indies. Yeah, they're figuring that this is just easy 2 points and pushing them further up the table, and pretty much putting an end to our chances of going through and calling an end to our tournament. Yeah, that's the plan of the South Africans. Except that I have a strong feeling that the West Indies might actually put a dump on that party. I have a real strong feeling that that's the plan of the West Indies, because I almost feel as if the pressure for me is probably muted, because they pretty much have nothing to lose. It's kind of pit against them that they can't go through, and so all they need to do is just do their best. And so in these circumstances, I guess they might relax and pretty much take it to South Africa.
I mean, they're coming up against South Africa is dubbed as the best bowling team in the competition. South Africa, on the flip side, West Indies is struggling against spinners. South Africa is not so much a spinning team. Them bowlers, them run in, bend them back, hit the pitch hard, and expect movement, swing, and all of that. So there'll be some pace up front. So hopefully Dottin and Matthews will utilize that and get some runs, as we saw they did against Australia in the first 12 overs. They were 100 and something. But though they're pace bowlers, Raymond, they're pretty much the stars of the bowling competition. And if I had to show you what is happening, really, the South Africans are, I mean, Ailey Matthews is a giant leader with 10 wickets, and she's the only West Indian in the top 20. The South Africans are at 3, 4, and 5. 29 wickets between them. I mean, the only team that you see in this top 10, with 3 of their bowlers in the top 10.
Yeah, yeah. So I can expect that West Indies, from a bowling standpoint, from with Ailey Matthews, should come out and really put some serious pressure on them. It, as you say, South Africa doesn't have a lot of spinners. In fact, most of them are fast bowlers or medium
Yes.
pace, and because of that, I feel as if we have a stronger chance. It's almost like a respite from all the spinning and the twist and the turning and the defensive approach. Now the ball come at you, you just guide it down the boundary, find the gaps. And so I believe that it's not scoring less than 100 in this game, hopefully, and it's not even probably less than 150. This game can actually push into the 200 region, and then if West Indies is able to do that, it go with defense and West Indies. That is some of the scores that the bowlers can defend, and that's what we want. So bring it, South Africa. I'm actually happy that you're not having those spinners at all.
And then South Africa batting Raymond. Lara. Lara is second on the list. 350 runs, and she pretty much has done nothing wrong so far in the competition. Average 70 from her 5 matches. If we can get her early, then we stand a better chance of restricting them. But the big point is if, because she's been batting extremely well throughout the competition. We saw Ailey Matthews, who started off well and was at the top of this batting order for some time now, is now at number 8, and there's no other West Indian in the top 10. And if I'm to go and look at the other West Indian batters quickly, Raymond, Campbell is at 12 with 177 runs. Dottin is at 16 with 165. Nation is at 33 with 110. You notice that's 4 players before you hear Skipper who said nobody na bat to dar Taylor coming, right? She's at 34 with 103 runs from her 6 matches. Raymond, the star players, the legendary players from the other teams, Divine, Haynes, they are in the top 10. Taylor
They obviously
at
came to the party.
34.
They obviously came to the party, and I just know when Taylor actually opened the door and answered the call. I don't know when, at what point. The good thing is West Indies is full on team and chemistry, so I'm expecting that where she's not able to contribute fully from a batting perspective, she step up from a bowling, as well as the team themselves can explode at any given time. Nation, Dottin, Matthews can explode into half a century and more. So I'm not even worried that she's not coming to the party yet, because they seem to help out from a team perspective. I was worried the previous games, but I mean, this is like the last one, and it's obvious that even if she doesn't perform, if you have certain persons that need it to, and if they don't, then clearly we'll have problems.
And she hasn't, and the team is losing and the team is going home. So we need all of them to come to the party for this particular game, Raymond. They're no fourth on the table, right? And we
Yeah.
need to take out our calculators for this part. The possibility of going through is very, very slim, right? So this is the formula. Yeah,
Yeah.
you beat South Africa, you get 2 points, you move to 8 points, and third, you would have gone above India. India have 1 matches, South Africa have 2 matches. England is the team to watch of those chasing. England has 2 matches, and those 2 matches for England are against Bangladesh and Pakistan, right? So you beat South Africa, you move to third. You hope that South Africa beats India in their last match. So India would remain on 6 and South Africa goes to 10. You also hope that England lose one of those 2 matches, right?
Yep.
Either England can lose to either Pakistan or Bangladesh, and England goes to 6, and West Indies will remain at 3. Bangladesh goes to 4, or Pakistan goes to 4. That's 1, right? If you lose to South Africa, you can pretty much pack up your bags and find the nearest airport and fly go home. However, there's a slim hope, right? If you lose to South Africa, you hope that South Africa beats India and everybody else lose. I don't know if that is possible,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
England lose them 2 matches and Bangladesh lose them 2, Pakistan lose them 2, and New Zealand lose the last one, right? Or you hope for a flood.
It, it sounds like a Noah Ark setting skirt because I'm telling you the way. I mean, you're calling for certain teams to lose, but clearly somebody gonna beat them. And with all the beating we are going, it still put pressure on West Indies finishing in the top four. So I hate doing this juxtapose and what if scenarios. I hate doing it, and it gets even more complicated when if they are to lose that game against South Africa. The what if get almost to a ridiculous point that it might as well you call Armageddon or flood or something that could help us go through. So long and short, West Indies, you have to beat South Africa. Don't worry, as much as this is important, don't worry about the net run rate now. Just get it done. Granted, I'm not saying it's not important, but the likelihood of you beating them by overwhelming it's kind of going down the match route again, and we know how that go. We actually tried the other day with the reggae boys. Anyways, let's just move on and what that did for us. Much at
Leave that
all. So
alone.
I'll leave that alone. But really and truly, it's just get it done against South Africa and worry about the other teams. And I mean, and don't worry about the net run rate. After deal with this game first.
I mean, you spoke about the match against Pakistan, which was critical in the scheme of things. We're coming down to the business end of the tournament, and we needed those 2 points. I mean, Pakistan was at the bottom of the table, struggling, and everybody expected West Indies to win this. They went in as favorites, and they come out looking like high schoolers playing against a senior team. Um, I'm not sure West Indies can beat South Africa. That's the long and short of it.
Kurt, to be fair, it was a rain affected game. I don't think any one of them expected it to be reduced to what it was, and I'm pretty much a T20 kind of format. I didn't expect. I don't think anybody expected that. They wanted to play simple and get it done because they also know that they're ranked ahead of Pakistan, and they figured that this was a game that was there for the taking, and the rain kind of showed that off a bit. Nonetheless, they had it to win and they didn't, um, and that's very unfortunate. But somehow, I feel like the pressure is kind of off them because a lot of people out there is already give up on them, and so to them just pretty much go out there and enjoy themselves. And when you do that, rally around each other, you tend to get good results. And I'm actually expecting them to win. Granted, South Africa have a better head to it, but the last few games, West Indies actually win one. So against South Africa, so the West Indies actually can beat South Africa. This is not the case of West Indies versus Australia. That was a different scenario, and so I'm thinking that the form
And
that they
and
enjoyed the early part of the tournament, might just come through at the end and then get this victory.
and talking about West Indies winning one of those last set of matches, if it wasn't for rain, they probably would have won 2, because if you can recall that in 150 not out or highest score in ODI was in that particular match, and West Indies batted first and made 200 and something runs, and South Africa was struggling at 80 something for 7. So, and thanks to the rain, so maybe we need some South African to chant that rain dance for us after we play against South Africa. But what do we need to do to win the match, Raymond? I know there are a lot of things that we need to change, especially the way we approach the batting. We saw against Australia, against Bangladesh, against Pakistan, they were very tentative. They weren't as aggressive. And I think as power hitters, I think we need to use our strengths instead of playing balls where I lick the middle of your bat. I continuously saying that the ball I lick the middle of your bat and you're playing it down. There, that the fact that the ball I lick the middle of your bat, it means that you see it. And if you see it, you must can place the ball somewhere where you can get 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 6.
But Kurt, it is. I think it's gonna be a little different because the ball hit in the middle of the bat was them trying to be defensive against spinners. These persons are, there's not so much medium pace and full toss and all of that. Full toss. It's easy, edge it and get as much. So I'm almost positive that it's just being aggressive, proper shot selection, and just understand these are not spin bowlers. There will be trickery, but not to the extent that you can't get pushing the ball past fielders and finding gap. And so that is what you want to do. Then when you're feeling, you put pressure on them, set up a field in a manner, and utilize your spin bowlers to get them out cheaply.
And if West Indies win the toss, I saw them struggling against Pakistan. They said that if we win the toss, we would have bowled first. And apparently that threw off the entire game. If they win the toss, what you would suggest they do?
Kurt, I would almost say batting. There's no other way. The record reflect batting first is like seriously, this is all win game. So there's no way I don't want to change it now at all.
And then if we go back to the Australia-South Africa match, we saw some weakness in the South Africans. So then them dropped about 8 or 9 catches in that match. So if you can take full advantage of their weakness in the field, that will go a far way as well. West Indians, ladies.
Yeah, and if we actually use, use the opportunity for not be weak in the field where we're concerned, where runouts are concerned and catches and run prevention, that's very important too.
And when the West Indies started the tournament, they were running a lot better between the wickets. There was a lot of I saw a plan when they batted. Them run well between the wickets, and that's one of the area that we were applauding them. And a lot of times West Indies playing, I would not seen that, but them going back to the West Indies type of playing that we know they need to get back there.
Yeah, absolutely correct. Absolutely.
Fans out there, West Indies versus South Africa in the last league match of this ICC Cricket World Cup. We hope that this is not their last match, and we want to hear from you. What's your thoughts on this matchup? Who you think are going to win? What changes West Indies need to make? What are your views on the match between West Indies and Pakistan? You can also leave those comments in the comment section below. Who you want to win? We want West Indies to win and go through to the semifinals. Tell me who you want to win by leaving those comments in the comment section below. And always remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. Yeah, you see that red button below the video? If it is still red, it means you're not subscribed yet. So just simply click the button and welcome to the Sports DTM family. Raymond and I signing out.